Scotia Capital has identified infrastructure as a key sector given its significant growth prospects and global nature. We are committed to being a significant participant in infrastructure. We had more engineers there. I noted that Parsons opened an office in Ontario earlier this year. This is what the CEO of Parsons International, one of the world's largest infrastructure firms, had to say in a press release just this past April. The commitments of federal, provincial, and local governments to unprecedented infrastructure development in Toronto and Ontario make this an ideal time to open an office for the joint operations of Balfour BD Capital, which is a U.S. capital firm, and Parsons Springer Hall, which is the engineering firm. So what does all of this say? It says that there's a whole cluster of infrastructure activity in this province today that did not exist before, or at least not on the scale that it does now. Some of that activity is unquestionably the result of global investments in infrastructure, but a lot of it is directly tied to what the province of Ontario has done under Premier Carleton University. Make no mistake about that. It was a very, very tough decision to take to go into infrastructure at this level and to move forward with the type of innovation that we see with infrastructure in Ontario. On the related note of energy, I think it's important for everyone here today to recognize that under the McGuinty government, the whole discussion about public-private partnership goes well beyond traditional infrastructure. It includes partnerships in diverse areas such as energy. Critically, in addition to the $60 billion of traditional infrastructure we've attracted private sector investment, $16 billion of private sector investment in the energy sector alone. Notable among these investments is the $7 billion being invested in Ontario by the Korean consortium led by Samsung C&T and Korea Electric Power Corporation. This investment will bring online projects that will generate 2,500 megawatts of wind and solar power in Ontario. With this investment comes jobs. Samsung's projects alone will create more than 15,000 new green energy jobs for Ontarians as they build and operate new facilities. And a lot of people have been led to believe that we are investing Ontario dollars outside the country with the Samsung deal. It's just the opposite. They are coming here and investing $7 billion in Ontario. And yes, some incentives have been provided. At the same time, they've invested incentives that previous governments of all political stripes have provided for automobile manufacturers to open up plants in Ontario. So, the building of 4 new factories in Ontario will create and manufacture turbines, solar panels, and the like. It's creating new manufacturing component and job creation vehicle for the economy of Ontario. So that's what we've been up to the past 7 years under this administration. So let's shift into high gear and look ahead. As many of you know, Premier McGuinty has directed me to prepare a 10-year infrastructure plan to build on the success of the 5-year Renew Ontario plan I mentioned earlier. And you saw up here on one of the slides, the consultation is very extensive. We did it with professional engineers. We're doing it geographically. We're doing it ministry by ministry. And we're doing it with all kinds of experts and people with knowledge in the infrastructure field. The 10-year infrastructure plan will be released early in 2011. And it will have a substantial bridge from our stimulus funding, which is very significant, to ensure a responsible transition to a 10-year sustainable and predictable program. That's following on our 5-year program, which has been completed. You can bet that as we work on this plan, we'll have a close, hard look at how we do our partnerships. There's a lot we want to build, but there are only so many public dollars to build with. So we need partners now more than ever, especially as we continue our plan to eliminate the deficit. So we've got to learn how to walk and chew gum at the same time. Maintain significant investment in infrastructure to the same time as we have planned over a period of a short number of years, over the medium term, to totally eliminate our deficit. We're looking at ways to improve. On the current model, we want to continue to leverage the private sector without ever compromising on the public interest. We encourage you to push the envelope of innovation and how we can work together better in the future. Among other things, I can tell you that we're currently looking to see if we can bundle more AFPs together, to take smaller projects, bundle them together, so that we will have a significant critical mass with which to do a public-private partnership. We've already done one of those in Ontario by bundling up OPP offices across the province of Ontario, and they did the procurement through one procurement. And it worked very well. It was on time and actually under budget. We're also debating how and whether we can export our AFP model and Infrastructure Ontario's expertise locally to municipalities. We've already done some public-private partnerships in Ottawa. A lot of cities have not done them. And also the possibility of exporting the Infrastructure Ontario expertise abroad. I'd like to point out, as part of our Places to Grow Act, in particular our Northern Ontario Growth Plan, which will be rolled out sometime in the next couple of weeks, be released very soon, new opportunities to partner will open up, including exciting opportunities with First Nations. So stay tuned. Nous sommes très fiers de notre solide bilan en matière d'investissement dans l'infrastructure, ainsi que des réalisations d'Infrastructure Ontario. Nous avons l'intention de nous appuyer sur ce bilan pour façonner l'avenir. I guess in closing, I want to repeat two core messages. Firstly, since coming to power, Premier McGuinty has answered the call to action. It's there for everybody to see. We've jumped all over the infrastructure deficit, not just with new money, but also with planning and vision and innovation. Second, we did it in partnership. In the words of Henry Ford, if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. Merci. Thank you.